Hey, you guys, come on in. It is Wednesday. And you guys know that Wednesdays equal tea time. If this is your first time tuning into Tea Time with Tia, I am Tia Williams. I created Tea Time with Tia as a platform for me to empower you to be free as I spill my tea. I share my testimonies on how I overcame real life situations using kingdom principles. What are kingdom principles, you ask? They're simply God's way of doing things. Principles work for anyone, anywhere, anytime, and under any circumstances. Come on, isn't that good news? I think it's excellent news. Hey, I forgot to write down what next week's topic is going to be about. Hopefully, I'll find that later on. Uh, but happy Wednesday, you guys. So today, let's get into it. I like talking about this. Today's Tea Time with Tia topic is, why does the truth hurt and who does it hurt? Come on, you guys. I want you to, get into this. Be my co-host on today. I want you guys to get in those comments. I want you to write down your answers. Come on. Who Why does the truth hurt and who does it hurt? Now, I told you guys that God give me all of my tea time with Tia topics. I am excited for us to dig into this topic. I told you guys, we as Marylanders, we love our crabs, and I want us to dig into the word and dig into these topics as if they were crabs. You have to be, it's very meticulous, it's very intentional. You extracting the meat out of those crabs. I want us to get the meat out of these lessons. I want us to really think about these questions. Remember, you guys, I want us to become critical thinkers. So this topic will really do this. And I want to ask the question again, but I want you to really think about it, like personalize this question. Why does the truth hurt? Why does it hurt you? When someone tells you the truth, why does it hurt? I'm totally the opposite. I can't even really, and I thought about it before I came on here. I tried to think of a moment where someone told me the truth. Well, okay, no, I just corrected myself. I did experience a moment. I was going to say at first that I can't remember a moment when somebody told me the truth, but I was thinking more so about someone telling me the truth about myself that hurt me. Now, there has been a couple of occasions where I discovered the truth and it really hurt. But for the most part, if someone tells me the truth about myself, I don't ever recall being hurt by that. But I mean, I want us to think about this. Who does no? Why does the truth hurt? Why does the truth hurt? I want you guys to type in the comment section. Give me your thoughts on why do you feel the truth hurts. My husband said he will be watching today, so I think he'll probably more so be on YouTube. Let me see if I can go onto YouTube and see if I see him on there. Hey, Facebook, come on in. Let me know if you can type in a comment. Say hi so I can see who it is so I can give you a shout out. Okay. I am up on YouTube. Let's see if I have any comments. Uh-oh. I had to turn down the volume. Let's see. Okay. He may be on here like he said. Come on, y'all. So why does the truth hurt? And who does it hurt? Let's talk about that just a little bit. Okay, I wrote down some scenarios on The truth can hurt because it makes us confront something to which we've been in denial. Do you guys agree about that? The truth can hurt because it makes us confront something to which we've been in denial. How about that one? The truth can hurt because you can feel exposed. You may have to be a little vulnerable when the truth is on the scene. You can't hide behind your mask or your facade. The truth can hurt because you don't want to feel at fault. You don't want to be the blame. Is some of these resonating with you guys? I mean, think about it. If somebody came to you and said, I wanted to say you are a bad parent, but I don't feel like parents sting or it wouldn't resonate as much as someone telling you you are a bad mother. Or if somebody told you you are a bad father. I remember I had a conversation with a guy who I'm very close to. This was a long time ago. And um and again I have these kind of relationships where people seek me for honesty. They know that I'm very honest. I love truth. I love transparency. Even when I first met my husband, one of the things that I said to him was, hey, be honest with me. I like the truth. I can handle the truth. And I didn't just say that, because it sounds good, but I am somebody who loves the truth. I even tell my children that, hey, tell me the truth. I can't do anything with a lie. A lie, I can't do anything with it, but the truth, I can do something with the truth. But I had to have a conversation with this guy. It was some years ago, and I had to say, hey, do you think you're a good father? Do you think that you are doing what your dad does for you? And then the response that I got back from him was, well, I do better than most people do. And I'm like, well, you're gonna pick the person that's doing the least to compare yourself to that. So I mean, but I'm quite sure that that gotta be painful to hear, someone just straight up, say to you, hey, you a bad mom, you a bad, father. Or even if somebody had to say, hey, you may have a problem with alcohol. I think you're an alcoholic, you know. So why does the truth hurt? Because it makes us confront something to which we've been in denial. The truth can hurt because you can feel exposed. The truth can hurt because you don't want to feel at fault. You don't want to take the blame for something. You may not want to face the truth and think, how can I get out of it? Come on. Shame hurt, acceptance hurt, accountability hurt. But now that the truth is out, there's this great spirit thing called hope. That's what I feel like, man. I feel like a lie can only leave you stagnant. You can't really go anywhere with a lie. And don't you hate when you know someone is lying to you, but you can't do anything about it because it's a lie. They're lying. But it's like if they just tell the truth, it opens up so many windows or doors of opportunities or different solutions, directions. But a lie just leaves you like you're in some quicksand. The truth can hurt because it feels like the unknown. unknown waters, unknown territory. I told you quicksand, like a tidal wave. You've been up, and I always make this statement here on Tea Time with Tia. I always say that maybe 99% of what you know is a lie. Because I mean, even think about that. You really haven't investigated much of anything of what you've been told or taught. You've just accepted things at face value. So you don't even know. And then, did you go to the word? Did you seek God? Like, how do you even know what you know is the truth? Okay. I got some type of I got some solutions to how we can resolve the truth hurting you. I remember one of my siblings. I remember they had shared with us that their friends had said something to them and it hurt their feelings. And so my follow up question to them was, I mean, so when they shared it, I knew that what they were, well, I didn't really know. I had a feeling that, I knew what the truth was. But so my follow up question to my sibling was, is what they're saying to you true? And they admitted that it was true. And I'm saying, well, how are you bothered with it? Like, they told you the truth. You know that it's true what they're saying. They're not making up something to you, they're not lying to you. How are you hurt by the truth? I mean, it's like, let's say your friends come to you and they say, hey, you always making up excuses for why you don't hang out. I don't know. I'm just making up something. And this wasn't, what my sibling had told me, but, and then, you get defensive and say, no, I don't. I don't, but you know that you're making up reasons. And then you get mad at them for telling you the truth. I'm like, what is that about? How are you mad? Are you mad because somebody called you out? Are you mad because somebody confronted you? Are you really mad at the truth, or are you just mad that you aren't able to get away with that anymore? So now that piece of information has been brought to the surface, now you got to deal with it. Now it's taken away from you. Now you got to come up with a whole new strategy, or you got to now try to figure, instead of being honest and saying, hey, I don't really like hanging out with you guys. You understand what I'm saying? It's like people use this lies to their benefit. So maybe the truth hurt because now you are being forced to confront something that you don't want to confront. Or now the truth is causing you to come up out of denial. And now you have to be accountable for what it is that you've been getting away with. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, this is a really good topic, you guys. Who does the truth hurt? No, why does the truth hurt and who does it hurt? I mean, this is like a question that you really got to become self-aware. You really have to become self-aware. Like, I am somebody who is very aware. I'm self-aware. I am aware of my shortcomings. And the minute that, I acknowledge what my shortcomings is, like me, I know that I am not somebody that's patient. I am not patient. I acknowledge that. I know that that is true when it comes to me. But I don't just leave it at that. I always strive to be better. I always strive to do something about it. So, one way that I practice patience is first I pray, and then I'm like, oh Lord, because now I know that God is going to open up my eyes to opportunities where I practice patience. So even going into the grocery stores, right? You get in the grocery line and it looks like the line that you picked was moving fast until you got in that line. And then all of a sudden, that line becomes long, or the cashier needs change. So they have to call on, the phone or the intercom system for the manager to come. And then you got to wait for them to go to the back to get the change drawer or the, whatever it is. And then it's a whole process. Or, remember they used to have to do a price check. Y'all remember those days when you would go to the grocery store and they would call on the intercom to do a price check. And then the person that got to do the price check will come and get the item. Then they got to walk all the way. So I'm like, oh Lord, now I have to. Then I would do things like I would get, and when I drive, I would use like my everyday life to practice these principles. And so I would use driving as a way for me to practice patience. So I would drive in the far right lane, which we consider the slow lane, and I would try to do the speed limit for my whole destination. Wherever I was going, I would attempt to drive the speed limit. And then, after a while, I'm like, I can't do this. I will get over to the left lane and speed up a little bit, because honestly, driving the speed limit, it makes me sleepy. It's very sleepy. So I'm somebody that is very self aware. There is nothing that you can tell me about me that I don't already know about myself. So the statement that I made earlier about I've never really had a situation, or I can't remember a moment where I was told the truth as it pertains to myself that it made me mad. Because I'm like, yeah, I know that about myself, right? But there are, I mean, like, you really have to sit down and be honest about, just think about the last time somebody said something to you that was true and it hurt your feelings. And then now I want you to go back and think about why. Why did the truth make me mad? Why for me it's the opposite. A lie makes me mad. I can't stand a liar. I like the truth. Like, I even when I meet people, and they want to be my friend, or I want to be in a relationship with them as far as, a friendship, I always tell people to be who you are. Please, I'm telling you, what's going to turn me off is if you try to be something that you're not, and then later on it reveals itself. Like that, I can't stand. I am somebody that hates a lie. I can't stand it. But I am somebody that I can accept you for who you are. I really can. I don't care. I accept the good, the bad, and the ugly. Just let me know up front. I don't like to be caught off guard. You don't have to put on no airs with me. You don't have to put on no front. You don't have to be a certain kind of way for me to like you. I'm a authentically and genuinely like you for who you are. I mean, I'm a teacher, so I know how to meet people where they are. You know what I'm saying? So a lie is what gets me. It really gets me. But I mean, think about it. Why would the truth hurt you? What? Let's go to scripture. Let's pull up a couple of scriptures so we can, you know, put this thing into right perspective. John 8:32 says, "And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Come on, if we have this understanding about what the truth can do, that it will set us free, it's like, why would the truth ever hurt you? Let's get past, all of that other stuff. I really want us to embrace truth. I want us to embrace truth, because I feel like the truth will hurt once, but a lie will hurt forever. a lie will hurt forever. I had two children, two sons prior to getting married, right? And so then me and my husband had Mason, who is our youngest. And I just I like to get ahead of things, right? So my two oldest, they don't call my husband dad, they call him Q. So when we had Mason, and you know, when he began to talk and walk and understand things, I knew that we had to address that issue. I knew that at some point Mason was going to start to ask questions, that he was going to wonder why Marcel and Mike are calling dad Q and he's calling dad. I knew that at some point Mason was going to ask questions on why is Marcel and Mike's last name Clark and our last name is Williams. I knew that, you know what I'm saying? I knew, and then there was a time when Marcel and Mike's dad would come around, and I knew that Mason would say, "Well, who is he?" So I'm just the type of person. It's like, hey, we gotta sit there. And really, I don't even sit my children down. I just normalize things. I just communicate things in a matter of fact way where it's easy to accept. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if we're out, I'm quite sure it was like maybe at a football field when my boys played football, and Marcel and Mike's dad, will come around during that time, so I would just say, "Hey, Mason, who is that?" And he, that's whoever. And I'm like, "That's Mike and Marcel's dad." I bring those things up so that we're addressing it because I don't want him to grow up living a lie. I don't want him to grow up believing something that isn't true. He can handle it. People can handle the truth way better than they can handle a lie. You know what I'm saying? It may have taken him a minute for it all to register, but he was never told a lie. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm just somebody that embraces the truth. The truth will set you free. I mean, you think about people who even adopted children. They grow up believing that their adopted parents are their biological parents, and I never understood the rationale for making somebody believe a lie. I mean, easily when you brought that adopted baby into your home as they grew up, I mean, you could have just been honest with that child and told them, hey, you are a product of our great decision making. We picked you out of a million kids. We chose to love you. You know what I'm saying? But for somebody to tell a lie for a period of time, like 13 years, 20 years, they wait till the child is 18 to then want to tell them the truth that they're adopted, or when you believe that someone is your biological parent, and then you find out that they really aren't your parent. It's like, why would anybody choose a lie over the truth? Why does the truth hurt? Why does the truth hurt? The truth is there to make you free. It's to free you from bondage. It's to free you from guilt. It's to free you from shame. I had this one gentleman that I talked to. He's a Christian, and I believe he drinks, right? And so my question to him was, why do you hide the fact that you drink? And I believe his response was, I don't even know if he said, I'm trying to think of what he said. I think he said something like, because he don't want people to know that. And I'm saying, well, why do you do it? If you don't want people to know it, but you do it, does that make sense? It's like if you're gonna do it. Like walking your truth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but you going out of your way to hide or to manipulate because he would ask Q and I, when we host functions or gatherings at our house, how do we handle, the alcohol consumption or, family members drinking and stuff. And I said, well, people know that Q and I don't drink, so they don't expect to have alcoholic beverages at our house or at functions, right? So I told him, I said, but if people don't know that, then because I didn't know, I don't believe that he was transparent. It took a while for him to become transparent with it, but I was like, but I just know that you have a certain expectation. People expect certain things when they come around certain people. But I said if your family members feel comfortable drinking at your house, it's because they probably done it before or they know that you do it. And so now it's going to be hard for you to try to have this standard because that's not what they are accustomed with. So I just don't understand. It's like if you drink or you smoke and yeah, you say you a Christian, I mean, why hide it? Just don't do it. It's like you rather deceive, you rather lie. Like, look at the energy and the effort that it takes for you to cover up the truth because you don't want to be judged or you don't want. But it's not anybody judging you. It's the truth. It's what you do. I had another girlfriend. I love this chick so much. I mean, look, she was honest and bold in whatever she did. And again, she was a Christian too. This was somebody that I at one of my old ministries that I attended. But she used to say to me, Tia, if God know that I do it, why am I gonna lie to you? Not to me personally, but she's saying to anybody. She's like, if I can't hide what I do from God, why am I gonna hide it from you? And I used to crack up. I used to be like, girl, you are crazy. But that was her truth. And she was, what y'all say? She was standing, she was 10 toes down in her truth. It's like you can't hide it from God. And I, so again, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Clearly, you have been operating in denial, you have been operating in darkness. Even I think about my life before Christ. Some of the things that I was doing that I didn't know, was against God or wasn't, the right thing to do is because it was accepted in society, but then when I became a Christian and God started opening up my eyes to righteousness and the right way of doing things and, doing things his way, it's like that thing set me free. Once I knew the truth, it delivered me. It set me free. So why does the truth hurt? Why does the truth hurt you? What is it that somebody can tell you that's gonna hurt your feelings? I mean, even when I find out the truth about somebody else, let's say, oh, I think I wrote it down. The expression "the truth hurt" is used to describe the pain and discomfort that can come from hearing an unpleasant or difficult truth. It implies that the truth is sometimes more hurtful than lies. It implies sometimes it implies that the truth is more hurtful than lies. So it's like you teach people how to treat you. You'd rather for somebody to tell you what did on the movie Baby Boy. He said what's his name? Jody. He say I lie to you because I love you. I tell them other girls the truth because I don't care nothing about them. It's often easier to avoid or ignore reality and focus on what we want to believe. We want to believe that our mate is faithful. We want to believe that they won't cheat on me. But and that's a question that is always heavily debated. If you found out that your friend's spouse was cheating on them, would you want to know the truth? Or would you tell them the truth? I mean, it's like we got to really debate on whether we should tell somebody the truth or not. I mean, yes, because everybody can't handle the truth. And unfortunately, you really got to have a capacity for the truth. I mean, you even go back to the Bible, they hated the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they hated Jesus. The truth was on the scene and they wanted to kill him. Even something Jesus wouldn't even share with his disciples because they didn't have the capacity to receive the truth. They couldn't receive the truth. And the Bible even tells us that we got to tell the truth in love. You can't just be thinking that you are the truth teller and you don't have any tact and you don't have any empathy or care or compassion. You hear people, I mean, let's go to the movies, you see on the movies that you got that aunt that's always opening up their mouths, and so they end up saying, well, that's why Jesse ain't your father, real father. Now it's like there was no love in it. They didn't care about that person. They didn't have any empathy towards them. They didn't have any concern. They just shouted out something to be very vindictive, to be evil. So that's an example of someone telling the truth, but there's no love in it, right? Um, Facing the truth is essential for personal growth. Facing the truth. I mean, I'm even talking. I don't even want to go as far as somebody betraying you. Like that's a truth that can hurt, right? If you find out that your best friend was talking about you, or you find out that somebody that you have a friendship with really don't like you, that they just using you. Yeah, that's a truth that can hurt. But even that is something that I want to know. I'm not mad at it. I am never mad at the truth. But it's like, what we gonna do with it now that the truth is out? We gotta make some moves. I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Even discovering that my husband had an affair, I want to know. I want the truth because now we got to address why. What was the root cause? What is going on in our marriage? What we gonna do now? How we gonna solve this problem? See, now once it's brought to the surface, you gotta confront it. We gotta do something about it. You can't hide no more. Clearly, you've been lying. So now you have ran out of lies. Even people that lie, it's like you have to believe that you have the ability to keep it up. I mean, this is crazy. Oh, it was something I want to read to you guys. Uh, I found this. I thought it was interesting. The important thing is to stop lying to yourself. A man who lies to himself and believes his own lies becomes unable to recognize truth either in either in himself or in anyone else, and he ends up losing respect for himself as well as for others. When he has no respect for anyone, he can no longer love, and in order to divert himself, having no love in him, he yields to his impulses, indulges in the lowest forms of pleasure, and behaves in the end like an animal in satisfying his vices. And it all comes from lying to others and to yourself. Come on, think about that. Think about that. When you lie to yourself, you lie to others, you lose respect for other people, you lose your ability to even love those people. You begin to indulge in the lowest form of pleasure. I mean, look at the road this takes you. Let's look at some more scripture. John 14 and 16 said, Jesus said to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So here we have Jesus. He is the truth. He is the way. He is the life. Come on. When the truth is on the scene, I mean, it's who Jesus is. He came to save us. Oh, there's another scripture that says that truth came through Jesus. Maybe I'll get to it. Let's see. John 16 and 13 says, when the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all the truth. For he will not speak on his own authority, but whatever he hears, he will speak and he will declare to you the things that are to come. So when the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all truth. I mean, if the truth hurt, you're going to be hurting. But we want to be guided into the truth. We want to be able to change our perspective on the truth. We don't want truth to be hurtful. We want truth because we want to be set free. We want to be delivered. We want to be made whole. I mean, even telling people that you drink and you a Christian. See, I'm telling you, me and my husband had this conversation, and I was telling him that we have become so title driven that people aren't receiving their healing. Like even the title of mom, even the title of dad, it comes with a certain expectation. Even the title of husband, the title of wife. I mean, let's really go into this, right? Let's go into the title of mom and the title of dad, right? It's like you participated in the system of having sex and then being pregnant and having a title. That was the way that you got your title. You did not get your title through any type of teaching, training, modeling, mentoring. I mean, think about that. Most people, I mean, I'm saying majority of people receive the title of mom and dad because they had sex and and got pregnant. And by default, you became mom and dad. So now we have this expectation of this title that you know how to nurture, raise, train a child into adulthood to be, you know, a good citizen in society. And all you did was have sex. You understand what I'm saying? You did not have any type of training, mentoring, education, experience, modeling. You didn't have any of that. All you did was have sex and you got this title. And now this title comes with this big old expectation. And we say, well, you're my mom, you're my dad, you supposed to love me, you supposed to take care of me, you supposed to. How? So now, because of the title and the expectation that is associated with the title, right? When you don't have those skill sets, I just said this to her. I said she don't have the skills. She, there was this young lady who had, I want to say, 3 children, and 2 of the children were taken away from her. And now she has this one child that she's left with, and she's going through anxiety because that at the age of the last child is when the previous children were taken away from her. So she's expected to parent this third child when she didn't have the skill set, the tools, the training with the previous children. You understand what I'm saying? And so now it makes it almost impossible for this person to say, "Hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not good at this parenting thing." How can they even say that without being judged? Without being judged. They're drowning. They're in quicksand. They are overwhelmed. But they can't even say, help, I need help, because of the expectation that is associated with the title that they had, that they don't have any experience in even what they are and who they are. And so it now they'll be called unfit and this and that. You know what I'm saying? And won't even ask for help, end up have to surrendering their kids because they know they're in over their head. Do I sound like I'm a little hype and hostile? I mean, I'm gonna calm down, but I'm just passionate about that. Like, we really gotta rethink what we've been doing. And this is why the Pharisees and Sadducees wanted to kill Jesus, because he had a better way of doing things. And because they were so used to and acquainted with doing things the way they've been doing it, and nobody was checking them and nobody was challenging them, that they were upset. How dare he? Who does he think he is? How is he going to now come against everything that we believe to be true? That's another reason why the truth hurts. It's because you believe that what you are doing or what you know is true. And then when somebody comes up to you and say, "No, baby, that's a lie," that hurts. It's hard for you to want to give up that position. I say, even in the church, when people have titles of pastors and ministers and elders and deacons, and we honor and have these expectations of title, where we no longer honor people as humans and men and women, that when they do the altar call, these same people know they having trouble in their marriages, but they won't come up to the altar because of an expectation that people have of their title. And so they sit there in bondage. They sit there in fear. They sit there in turmoil. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. And then no healing is taking place because we put more emphasis and expectations on titles than we do on men and women and being human. And now, because you have these degrees, and we're like, oh, but they're educated, they're rich. We think they supposed to know certain things because of what they do for a living. I'm telling you, the truth will set us free. We got to come out of bondage of what people expect of us and who we think we are. And because we able to read a book and we able to pass a test, but we still living in bondage. We still not being delivered or healed. Jesus can't even save us because we won't be vulnerable enough to him. Because we've learned how to put on masks and facades and airs. I don't think that much of anybody for me to feel like I got a lot of you. I mean, that's just me. I don't think that highly of anybody that I'm a lot of you. I'm not afraid of you. I don't care what you think of me. Like, that's why I'm able to do tea time and be transparent and tell you that I'm a convicted felon, that I was sentenced to 3 years in prison, in jail, that I had multiple abortions, that my husband had an affair, that I had children out of wedlock. I feel like even in my worst days, I'm still better. I'm still all that in a bag of chips. I mean, I'm free. I am free. You know, even as part of my talk show, Tea Time with Tia, I would have guests on there and they would share their testimony. But in order to share your testimony, you had to be free. So I had one young lady that was a guest on my show, and it was really hard for them to share their testimony. And I felt like I had to drag certain stuff out. And then prior to them being a guest, you know, we sat down, we talked about it, you know, and I asked them, hey, are you ready to share your testimony? They said they were ready. But as the interview was going on, I felt the tension and the strain. And at the end of it, I said, yeah, you weren't free. You weren't free to to share your testimony. And they admitted that they weren't. But it's like, man, the truth will make you free. But now that person is free. Now that person is free. But they weren't free. And that's how you know when you lie, who does it hurt? The truth hurt people that are still in bondage. The truth hurt people that are still walking in darkness. The truth still hurts people who aren't delivered. I don't even want to get emotional, you guys. I feel it coming. Man, I want us to be free. You know, even when I talk to people, I'll always share my testimonies. One, so that they don't think that I'm judging them. And for two, because it disarms people and it makes them a little more vulnerable. It's like when I can be vulnerable and I can share things that people would consider like a deepest, darkest secret. I don't have no deepest, darkest secret. I promise you, I don't. You ask me anything, I'm going to tell you the truth. But, you know, I do that because I want people to be free. I want you to share your truth. I want you have to because you're not going to get help. You're not going to get help. You have people that are hungry, that don't have food to eat, but walk in pride. They will not ask people for food. They won't ask people for help. And they praying to God. Well, God is going to use people. He's going to move through people. A closed mouth don't get fed. You have to speak your truth. You got to say, I need help. Okay. Whew. John 17:17. Sanctify them in the truth. Your word is truth. God's word is truth. Let every man be a liar, but God's word is truth. He said, heaven and earth will pass away before my word fall to the ground. I love God's word. It's a mirror. It shows me when I'm in error. It shows me when I'm walking in darkness. It shows me where I need to tighten up at, how I need to talk, how I need to treat my husband, how I need to treat my neighbor. I wrote a lot of scripture. It was just so many. John 4:24 said, God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. If the truth hurts you, how you going to worship God? How you going to lay it down at the altar? How you going to be saved if you don't need a savior? Why do we keep judging people? You know, you guys always saying nobody's perfect, but then when you see people's imperfections, you judge them. This teaching is for us to be delivered from that foolishness, from that foolishness. Second Timothy 2:15, do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who has no need to be ashamed, rightly handling the word of truth. You don't have a reason to be ashamed. You don't have nothing to fear. Present yourself to God as one approved, someone that rightly handles the word of truth. Apply it to your life. Proverbs 12:22 says, lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord. Lies should hurt. Truth we going to embrace. Truth we going to deal with. Truth we going to walk in. Truth we going to be 10 toes down in. Truth is what we going to stand on. Truth is what we're going to rely on. Truth is what we're going to depend on, not lies. Lies destroy. Lies kill. Lies call you to steal. Lies is why people murder. It's not the truth. Ephesians 6:14 says, stand therefore, having fastened on the belt of truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness. Fasten on the belt of truth. The truth is what holds up your pants. If you didn't have the belt of truth on, your pants gonna fall down and you're gonna be exposed. That's why the truth is the belt. It holds you up. I mean, can't nothing come against the truth. If you tell your truth, if you tell your story, you disarm everybody. I always say nobody can tell it like I can tell it. I can't stand for people to speak for me. Don't speak for me. You can't tell it like I'm going to tell it. You're going to hear from me first. 1 John 3:18 says, little children, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and in truth. Truth is associated with love, not lies. Don't be like Jody. Come on. He's not our example setter. Jody says he lies to his girl because he loves her. And he tell the truth to them other women because he don't care nothing about them. Jody got it twisted. Jody got it wrong. Jody is deceived. And the truth ain't in him. Psalms 145:18. The Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth. Come on, truth is necessary. Truth is needed. Truth is essential. Truth is powerful. Psalms 25 and 5. Lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation. For you I wait all the day long. Lead me in your truth. Come on. You gotta know the truth. Lead me in your truth. Show me the way. Lead me in your truth. I need the truth. Come on. You got to meditate on this stuff. This stuff got to get in your spirit. Psalm 119, 160. The sum of your words is truth. Come on. Can you say the same for yourself? Is the sum of your words truth? Or do you lie a little? Do you lie a little? And even when you lie a little, examine why. Why did you feel that was necessary? Figure out why do you do what you do. Then you'll go back maybe to your childhood and understand well when you lied, it afforded you certain things. Psalm says the sum of your word is truth, and every one of your righteous rules endures forever. The truth stands the test of time. Last week I taught about, the difference between the world's way and God's way as it pertains to sin. And the world, it changes. But the God way, it stays the same. It endures time. It stands the test of time. Remember, I told you, there was a time in society in the world where it was frowned upon for you to cohabitate or have premarital sex. And then later on, like in the present day, now you see people on, family shows, living together, shacking up, having premarital sex. Sin changes. But with God, the truth is eternal. It stands the test of time. It endures forever. Come on, lies are temporary. They're gonna catch up with you one day. Who was it? Was it Kirk Franklin? In his story, his mama been telling him that this certain guy was his dad all of his life. And then just recently, he found out that this other guy could be his dad. And so they did a DNA test and found out that this other lie expired. They gonna catch up with you. They don't stand the test of time. The truth does. John 1 and 14, and the word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. So come on, if I'm telling you, I have a relationship with God, and you gonna know the truth when you in a relationship with God. God loves us more than we can imagine. He lives in absolute truth without any mixture of dishonesty or deception. God's truth is the enemy of delusion, hypocrisy, and hidden sin. God's truth is the light that reveals our true self and the standard by which he would judge our life. Come on. God's truth is the light that reveals our true self. Come on, this truth is all about you. It starts with you. It's on the inward part of you. It's going to only expose who you are. That's why I like the truth. You can't get around it. The truth going to do what it's designed to do. It's going to expose. It's going to deliver. It's going to free. It's going to remove. It's going to cause movement. You can't stay there. It doesn't allow you to be stagnant. The jig is up. It's going to, the standard by which he would judge our life. This is how God would judge us. John 1:17 says, "For the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ." That's the scripture that I was talking about earlier. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. He is the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna get into some scriptures that's gonna say, who does it hurt? Who does the truth hurt? Ephesians 4:15, rather speaking the truth in love, we ought to grow up in every way into him who is the head, into Christ. The more we grow up in love, in truth, we become more like Christ because he is love and he is truth. So the more speaking the truth in love, we ought to grow up. When you can receive that truth, when you can express truth lovingly, we become more like Christ. James 1:18, of his own will he brought us forth by the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creature. We are the first fruits of his creature, brought forth by the word of truth. Okay, let me skip down. 1 John 1:8. If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. We are deceiving ourselves and the truth is not in us. Therefore, having put away falsehood, let each one of you speak the truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. We got to tell the truth. We need to tell the truth. One of the 10 commandments is to not bear false witness. Don't lie. The truth can't always hurt. It may sting a little bit. But I mean, you're going to be brought out of darkness. Even if somebody is deceptive and doing something behind your back and they've been lying, you're in the dark. But even though when they are exposed, when you learn the truth that your friend stole money from you, that your friend lied, that your man cheated, that your woman cheated, that, your mama hid. I mean, come on, the light, darkness, you have been uncovered. Come on, there's hope, there's a future, there's possibility, there's direction. Yeah, it's going to be, uncomfortable because you've been acquainted with a lie. But now, I love the truth. Romans 1:18 says, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth." Who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. There are people that don't want to know the truth. They don't want to know the truth. The wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppresses the truth. That's sad. John 8:44 says, "You are of your father the devil, and your will is to do your father's desire. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him." So who don't want to know the truth? Those that are sons of Satan, that they do their father's desires, that they're part of the fallen angels. You know, you get somebody won't tell the truth for anything. You could say, you could cry. They could be devastated. You just tell me the room. Help me the room. All I want to know is truth. I won't. I mean, you can go. Oh, damn it. And they just won't tell the truth. They just feel not feel the truth. It's just not in them. I hope these scriptures are doing what they are designed to do, free us. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character. For he is a liar and the father of lies. He speaks out of his own character. For he is a liar and the father of lies. People that lie, people that don't want to hear the truth, they speak, it's the reflection of them, not you. That's why you don't have to be ashamed. You didn't lie, you was a victim. It just speaks about that person's character. They don't want much in life. They just want to keep lying. That fills them. That satisfies their appetite. That lying. Woo, Jesus. That lying. Even the spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it neither sees him nor knows him, you know him, for he dwells with you and will be in you. See, the spirit of truth, the world can't receive it because it neither sees him nor knows him. But we know him. If we say we have fellowship with him while we walk in darkness, we lie and do not practice the truth. See, these are ways that you can find out whether you're the problem, you got a problem with telling the truth, or if somebody that you deal with. It's telling you right here. If we say we have fellowship with him and we walk in darkness, we lie and do not practice the truth. People don't practice the truth. Ooh, I want to tell another story, but I'm not. Send out your light and your truth. I got a typo. Let let them bring me to your holy hill. Oh, I don't know what that says. I can't even make that one out. All these typos. Proverbs 16:13. Righteous lips are the delight of a king, and he loves him who speaks. Let's see. Below. Oh, this is a good one. Behold, you delight in truth in the inward being, and you teach me wisdom in the secret heart. So truth comes from the inside. Here's one more. John 18:27. Then Pilate said to him, so you are a king? Jesus answered, you say that I am a king. For this purpose I was born, and for this purpose I have come into the world to bear witness to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth, listen to my voice. Come on, if you don't listen to God's voice, you ain't hearing the truth. You don't know the truth. You got to hear God's voice in order to know the truth. 1 John 4:6, we are from God. Whoever knows God, listens to us. Whoever is not from God does not listen to us. But this we know, the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. All them typos. I was trying to type this stuff up so fast. Whoever knows God listens to us. Whoever is not from God does not listen to us. But this we know, the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Okay, let me read some more notes and then I'm done. We have a choice. Are we willing to face the truth even when it hurts? Or will we try to hide from God and from ourselves by clinging to deception? Come on, which one? We got a choice in the matter. Being honest with yourself leads to greater self awareness, confidence in decisions and actions, improved relationship with others, and more rewarding experiences in life overall. Isn't that great? Being honest with yourself is important. It is essential for personal growth, building trust, living a fulfilling life. It helps us accept our flaws and shortcomings. It strengthens our self esteem and builds healthier relationships with others. It shows maturity and courage to confront our weaknesses and be honest about them, even when it hurts. It increases our foundation of trustworthiness, respectability, and success. Truthful people are highly valued in society because they value the truth themselves. So, truth helps you become unstuck. Let me give you these 3 things I wrote down. The first step is to be honest with yourself. Think honestly about the lies you tell and the excuses you make. Ask yourself why you are doing this and if there is another way of getting your needs met without having to resort to dishonesty. 2, once you have identified the issue, talk them out with a trusted friend or somebody, look, like me, who won't tell you the truth or that can give you a different perspective, right, on what is really going on in your life. And then 3, practice self-reflection and accountability each day. Take time for yourself, reflecting on how well you are, because it's just a reflection of yourself. Okay, I think I probably went over my time. I think I'm 13 minutes over. But I think that this was good, you guys. I hope you enjoyed Tea Time with Tia. I'm done. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. You can write them in a comment or you can email me at asktiawilliams@gmail.com or you can even direct message me or inbox me. And if you give me your permission, I will answer your question, directly to you, or I will answer them on the next Tea Time with Tia, which is next Wednesday at noon. Let me see if I can find out. I think God is keeping me with truth. Let's see if I wrote down what the next topic was going to be. Oh, God is so funny. I'm telling you guys, He give me these topics to teach. So next week's topic is, if the truth hurts, why do you ask for the truth? If the truth hurts, then why do you ask for the truth? I mean, we're going to talk about it. We're going to stay right here in this topic of men of truth. But I thought that little part that I read to you about the lying was really good. Maybe I'll post it. I'll find some type of way that I can post it. But I'm gonna play my I'm gonna play my theme music, and I will look in the comments to see if you guys have any questions. Be right back. All right, you guys. Be blessed. Have a good day. Make sure you hit the share button and watch the replay. All right, you guys.